Hey guys, welcome to ES Futures Review and Dow Jones Futures Review. I'm going to go over both tickers, try to be fast as possible. If the video is a little long, I just suggest you speed up the playback at least 1.25, even 1.5. You can always watch the video a few times to figure out what's going on. So here we have, if you see this low set on Wednesday, it was then undercut Thursday afternoon for an awesome fail breakdown. Very simple. This is the low. We went right below it. We bounced right back. With a high volatility setup like that, you have to kind of trust your knowledge, and then when you see it dip below and bounce right back, wait a few minutes. If it stays above, you can enter the long with a stop loss below the lowest low. So that worked out great. Afterwards, which we lost that low near the close and offered another failed breakdown of this 215 low, which was about 63.66. So if you go around 63.70 right here, for example, if you went long, that worked out for at least 25 points. So that was a good failed breakdown. Afterwards, which we just slowly kept on selling until around 8:30. We set a low here of 63.50. That bounced almost 13 points. We undercut it, and then we got right back above around 8 o'clock. That was a nice little mini fail breakdown. And then from there, overnight, we lost this 63.50 level. You can see two bounces right here. We came back, had a slight bounce for 7 points, and then we lost that. If you were to short, this is the way you'd want to short. You want to see a level have a couple bounces right here, perfect, to a failed breakdown at that level, ideally. That's right there. And then one more bounce near the level. It can be below this lowest low, it can be above it, or right at it. But you do want to see some resemblance of a little bit more demand before exhausting that demand, and then sell. And that's exactly what happened here. Overnight, we just slowly kept on selling until we got down to around this 6,300 level, around 645.7 when I woke up. Now, if you go to a 45-minute chart real quick, you will see a mini low in that area right here, and that is the low we undercut. So you see this low at like 2 Thursdays ago, and then we undercut that a little bit. So if you wanted to use that as a point of reference, it's possible, but it can get a little dicey. We did have a low though, more closer, a little higher up. What you can do is kind of do a failed breakdown of both those lows. So once you're above this level, you do know you've recovered that low back then, and then once you're above this level, now you can really engage in this setup. So what you would do is, let's go to a 5-minute chart real quick. You can see right here, we got above that level right away. We pushed through this level a little bit and then slow back down a couple points. And then once we start pushing back up above this level, you could go long around 63.07. I was not taking this just yet, but that was a decent setup right there for a mini failed breakdown of this low as well. This low went for over 16 points, so it was definitely valid before we lost it here around 640. We double dipped back into that level. We didn't undercut the slope, but we did dip back for a second entry. And when we came back down here and held this, I did end up going long above this level, just thinking that it could have been a little mini trap just to get one more position by the institutions, and that ended up working out for a nice long before we eventually lost that. Once again here, you can see at this level, one bounce, a second bounce, and then after that second bounce, even a third bounce at that level before we lost it. So you'd want to go short below this structure, maybe ideally actually this structure, and if you don't have the patience, then below the whole structure around 60 to 94-ish. So just a couple different ways to short there if you were interested. Afterwards, which we lost that level, and then we came all the way down, and there was give me 1 second here. There was a low that I was looking at here for the July low, but we did not end up undercutting that on the first shot. However, what we did do was we offered an awesome bounce at 10:30 of this level. If you wanted to, what you could have done is played it as a dip in recovery and then taken it above right here once you recover this level and held this above level. That worked out great for a couple levels up. Afterwards, which we finally lost this low from earlier. We undercut it by a few points and set up an awesome fail breakdown. Very simple work right there. Another way to look at it as well is we came back down, we tried getting above 62.57 and reclaiming that after losing it without a clear low. But then eventually what we did is we undercut that low, so check one. Then we came back to 62.57, check two, and this time we pushed right through. So that was a good little fail breakdown slash reclaim. That went up a couple levels, and now we're chilling. I love where we're ending Sunday. The first thing I'll say is you can see this is the clear resistance above the major resistance. Below that, this resistance is the next one up. So if we do not sell any further once new levels are set up and go straight up, this area will be level of reclaim. Below, we have this mini lows right here, maybe a failed breakdown of those, and even better would be a failed breakdown of the Friday lows. So if you can get any of those three setups, a reclaim above, a failed breakdown here, or a failed breakdown here, that'd be great. But always keep in mind, we're always looking for new structure as well. So if we sell straight down, don't rush, let price set a structure and then work with that structure. Real quick, let's go to a 15-minute chart here.